Yeah, I mean, there will be a day when any mom and pop can log into their bank and buy nearly any of the top 100 cryptos just within their little banking. I don't want to mention any banking names, but within your platform there, your bank platform, your online login, you'll be able to see your cryptos. Yeah, it is a struggle to bringing in a traditional finance company into DeFi. We had numerous board meetings discussing the actual merits of going into a DEX pool or putting liquidity onto the. I mean, they look at it like little kids in a basement going playing with their little NFT figures and stuff like that. They don't see it as a real viable way to trade. But when you look at the volumes of some of these DEXs, is enormous. And it's not just market makers. There's people really trading on these things. There's arbitrage traders all over the place. Even between DEXs, you can bought this stuff now. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say DeFi is bullshit. I think they've got a long way to go.
Well,
I think sooner or later,
it is current state. It is. I don't think that the concept is bullshit. I think the concept itself is actually a great concept. But what we're doing with it today is BS, and we should not delude ourselves into thinking that this is a sustainable thing. Doesn't matter how many billions of TVL or whatever other glamour metrics we're gonna get thrown out there. In the end, this is a closed ecosystem that is basically it's still an echo chamber. And that's what I think. That's what the problem is, So no, I don't think that the concept is bullshit. It is a great concept. It's just being executed poorly, I think.
I think we're seeing more and more traditional finance guys dipping into it and figuring out that there's a margin to be had there. Whenever there's money to be made, the big traditional finance guys will find their way in, and they'll make it more and more accessible to the global market. There's people that don't know crypto. That kind of want to get in, but they'd rather do it with the help of an institution. And there's people that don't like institutions at all, but they kind of see them as a necessary evil, especially when you're talking about fiat gateways. When you need to have cash in your pocket to pay the taxi, you still need a fiat gateway, and the banks are still the gatekeepers for that.
Yeah, well, so what you said right now, right? So you have the bigger players, the more traditional players coming in. That's and look, for these guys, it's actually, I mean, it's all about risk profiling, right? It's all about risk profiles. They're not going to come in to on some random meme coin just because some YouTuber said that it's going to go 100x tomorrow. That's not how these guys work. If they're actually coming in on assets, they're actually seeing these assets in a more traditional institutional kind of goggles and saying, yeah, okay, so there is actually reason to expose yourself to this risk. And so also it's very interesting because it shows you some evolution in the space, right? It shows you that these guys, these guys are coming in because there is some evolution, because there's some more stability there. But again, like I said, the way all of us inside the blockchain kind of, what sometimes is a bubble, see DeFi and how the change, or it's like, well, your TVL is not as big as my TVL, and well, like I just don't think that's sustainable. I think that's BS, and I think we should do better. And then we should look at these guys, that are coming in there from the more traditional fields, and looking at what are they looking at? Why is it interesting to them? What you said is very important. That institutional players need to come in so that retail feels more comfortable about coming in. I mean, and this is not just banks. I mean, this is with everything. I mean, from living in Japan, and this is kind of a bit of a stretch of an example, but it's still has it's in the same spirit. How Japan in some ways is very advanced, right? But still, most people will believe what's on TV or in a newspaper over, like, if it doesn't matter if Jesus came and told you buy Bitcoin. If a newspaper tells you to buy Bitcoin, they'll believe that over anything they see. And this is not everybody, but many will. And I think this is actually kind of a paradigm that we need to understand, that retail still needs a more comfortable way for entry. We cannot go to them and say, just don't worry about all this. We're here to disrupt all of that and just come on in and then trust us. Everything's going to be okay. You need those. You need those on ramps, and you need those rails. And I think those are very, very important.
Yeah, I mean, there will be a day when any mom and pop can log into their bank and buy nearly any of the top 100 cryptos just within their little banking. I don't want to mention any banking names, but within your platform there, your bank platform, your online login, you'll be able to see your cryptos. I'd like to be able to believe that those banks will also allow you to withdraw those coins to your own private wallets. I'm a big believer of non-custodial. Not your keys, not your coins. But it's a little bit early for the retail buyers to just expect them to get a ledger and then figure it out. And the possibility of a total loss or a wipeout or getting hacked is still too enormous for the average buyer just to dip their toes in and try it out.